I confessed the truth to my husband about our marriage, and it cost me everything. My name is Maya. I'm 35 now, and a few years back, I made a decision. A painfully honest choice that shattered my marriage. I don't regret speaking out, but I live with the weight of it every single day. Let me take you back, not to the night it ended, but to the years that slowly pushed us toward collapse. I met Lucas in college. We were inseparable, nerdy, ambitious, young, and in love. We got married a few years after graduating. Back then, I truly believed I had found everything I wanted. 14 years later, with 2 kids, Clara, now 16, and Noah, 11, the version of my life I'd built looked strong on the outside. But inside, I was slowly fading away. I was what people called a good wife. Organized, capable, dependable. I handled everything: school forms, doctor visits, grocery lists, birthday parties, endless piles of laundry, family gatherings, and thank you cards. I managed our home like a ship that couldn't afford to sink. But no one saw how drained I really was. Lucas worked long hours. He was a steady provider, and I never denied that. But when he came home, his day ended. Mine didn't. He'd drop his keys, collapse on the couch, while I ran around juggling dinner, homework, meltdowns, and cleaning. If I asked for help, yes, he'd step in, but only if I asked. That's what wore me down most. Having to direct him like he was another child. What crushed me more deeply was that he never noticed. Even our physical connection had faded. For years, intimacy felt like an obligation. Not because I stopped loving him, but because I was emotionally drained, carrying the entire weight of our world. It wasn't about desire anymore. It was duty. I kept going because I thought that's what a good wife does. Keep the husband happy. Keep the marriage stable. Don't stir the waters. I convinced myself it was noble, that every wife probably felt this way sometimes, that one day we'd reconnect. But inside, I was disappearing and Lucas didn't even see it. Then one Tuesday in March, everything shifted. Noah had just lost a tooth and was crying over the tooth fairy. Clara was melting down over a project she'd put off for weeks. Lucas came home late, as usual. The kids were fed, the house cleaned, and I was folding laundry when he sat on the bed. He looked worn out, but serious. He asked, "Maya, are we okay?" I wanted to shrug it off, I always did, but then he added, "I feel like you're not really with me anymore, especially when we're together." He wasn't harsh, he was sincere, but it hit me like a blow. And I cracked. I told him the truth. I admitted I hadn't truly wanted intimacy in years. That I only went along because I thought it was my duty, not because I felt connected. That it had become another chore, like folding socks. That I no longer felt like a woman, just a machine. I let everything spill out. Years of silent pain. The look on his face wasn't anger, it was devastation. Like I had shattered the world he thought was real. He asked if I meant it. I nodded. He asked how long. I whispered, "Since before Noah was born. Maybe longer." That night, he slept in the guest room. I laid alone in our bed, feeling lighter, but also terrified. I thought honesty might heal us. Instead, it broke us wide open. In the weeks after, he didn't yell or fight. But something in him closed off. He was polite, distant. No affection, no little gestures, no casual kisses. It was like I was living with a roommate instead of a husband. At first, I was relieved. No more pretending, no more pressure. But soon, I realized I was being punished for finally speaking up. 3 weeks later, when the kids were at sleepovers, I tried to reach out. For the first time in years, I actually wanted closeness. But when I touched him, he pulled away. He said softly, "I'm not ready." That rejection broke me. For so long, he expected me to be available no matter how I felt. But the moment I wanted connection, he had boundaries. I grew bitter. I snapped. I corrected him in front of the kids. I turned the house tense. I suggested therapy, but in a blaming way, as if I wanted to prove I was right, not save us. In counseling, I spilled everything. The imbalance, the exhaustion, the loneliness. And Lucas said, "I just found out my wife has been pretending with me for years. I don't know what was real. I'm scared." I hurt her without even knowing it. That should have softened me, but I was too defensive. I snapped back. There's a difference between pretending and sacrificing for your marriage. He wasn't hearing me. I wasn't hearing him. After months of circling the same pain, he said he wanted a trial separation. I was stunned. I accused him of running away, of being fragile, of having a midlife crisis. He didn't waver. I told our family and friends my side, that he couldn't handle a little honesty, that he was walking away instead of fighting for us. I made myself look like the reasonable one. But when divorce came, it was brutal. His lawyer painted my honesty as deception. I didn't just lose a husband, I lost stability, identity, even parts of my kids. They started spending more time with him because, truthfully, his house felt easier. 2.5 years later, Clara showed me her dad's engagement ring. He was marrying Elena. She was vibrant, career-driven, glowing, all the things I used to be. And Lucas looked truly happy. Seeing photos of them dancing, the way he gazed at her, it crushed me. My kids adored her too. Noah asked to live with them full-time. Clara was already there most of the time. I couldn't compete. I was the stressed-out single mom in a cramped apartment. They were the picture-perfect family, with vacations and a dog. And still, even after losing my marriage, my comfort, even pieces of my children's love, I can't regret telling the truth that night. Because it was real. And maybe that's the cruelest part. Lucas finally became the man I had needed, but with someone else. Elena got the version of him I fought so hard for. She receives his tenderness, his effort, his devotion. I got the trial run. People call me bitter, say I ruined a good marriage.
But they weren't inside my head.
They didn't live years as a ghost, holding everything together with nothing left inside. I spoke the truth. And yes, it cost me everything, but silence would have cost me even more.